watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
All right, Dante's Boxing Nation over here with my man Fred Harthon from Barbershop Conversations on assignment out there in Brooklyn, New York. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you feel, Dante, man? Man, it was a hell of a weekend, man. Hell of a weekend. Boxing was biggest best fight I've seen, and in terms of good A-quality names delivering, it's the best fight I've seen in a few years, Dante. It was a hell of a fight.
I mean,
and you know you have a hell. Go ahead. I'm just getting excited. Well, go ahead, Dante.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, is there any fights you could think of outside of this one that comes closer to like a Hagler Hearns, a Leonard Duran? I mean, it was a classic type of fight, wasn't it? You had the drama, the toe-to-toe. You had the, fighting on the ropes. You had the back and forth seesaw. I mean, you had everything in this fight, right?
You had everything but a knockdown, and it was classic boxing versus intellect versus power versus speed versus footwork. Sean Porter did an excellent job at establishing who he was and what he can do, and Keith Thurman did an excellent job at establishing who he is and how intelligent he is in the ring. And when those two clash from round 1 to round 12, you got to fight when in between rounds. 12,000 people are on their feet in between rounds, cheering, clamoring. Like the longest minute of their lives is when they're in between them rounds yesterday night. Man, it was just unbelievable.
Like once again, Fred. I mean, now you was out there on assignment for both you and me out there. Tell me, how was the atmosphere? I mean, because I'm hearing reports that it was like the second biggest live gate or something like that. I mean, how?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the reports that I'm getting right now. Now, I mean, I'm not. That's what Shouts out to Boxing Ego. Boxing Ego. He sent me a text and he told me that it's supposed to be like the second biggest live gate out there or something like that. But regardless, we obviously know that it was big and it was electric in there, right?
Oh man, yeah, it was like people were just anticipating it, but they were prepared for a letdown. When people were just waiting, watching a fight, waiting for a letdown, and after round 1, when round 1 got through, people were like, oh shit, we're in for a good fight. Round 2 came, we're still in for a good fight. Round 3 and 4, they're like, oh, man. And it was over 12,000 people there tonight, and it was just electric. I mean, I'm not kidding you. From the 5th round on, you had about 3,000 people standing up in between rounds. 6th round, you had 5,000 people standing up in between rounds. By the 10th round, only people that wasn't standing up, they were either holding babies or in a wheelchair. And it was just unbelievable, man. The crowd was electric. And by the end of the night, 80% of the crowd was Sean Porter, 20% of the crowd was Keith Thurman, and like classic great fights, everyone starts rooting for an underdog like in March Madness.
Yeah.
Keith Thurman came in as the crowd leader, and it flip-flopped by the end of the fight because he was just exerting himself. And it's just, and for working all night, I'm at the airport now. I went straight from the Barclays Center, picking up my luggage, and now I'm at the airport heading back to Los Angeles,
Man.
And it was just, man, it's just been a hell of a weekend.
Did you expect it to be that close?
In my prediction video, I picked Thurman just because classic boxer, overall better skills. But if you watch my video, 100% I was rooting for Sean Porter. You know how much I love the Porters, man. And I love the relationship that they have. And I picked Thurman just on pure boxing, but my heart was all in for Sean Porter. I was all in on Sean Porter. All in.
Yeah.
And I had him winning 7 rounds to 5. But now that I've extracted now that I've extracted honestly, Dante, I believe personally, it should have been 7-5 Porter, 7-5 Thurman, or even a draw. You know, and but with three judges have the same card, it's a tight, unanimous decision. I was like, Sean Porter took this fight, and the crowd was ready to erupt and Porter, and they were so disappointed, man. But it was Dante. It was just a hell of a fight. The fight got better and better and better.
It sure
round,
did.
Man.
It sure did. It sure did. From the opening bell to the last bell. And,
Man.
you know, like I said, I mean, you can love things about Sean Porter. You can love things about Keith Thurman. But one of the things I love about Keith Thurman, man, he mean that shit when he called himself one time, because every single punch that he throws is straight for the fences. He throwing home run shots from the first bell to the last bell. When it comes to Sean Porter, he may not be as classy or as stylish, I should say, as Keith Thurman, but he makes up for it with his heart. He makes up for it with his determination and his grit. You know, so yeah, you had a nice contrast going on, and it was a classical match, man. It was a classical match, especially when you think about the fact they haven't had a fight over there or on CBS in about 38 years since Muhammad Ali versus Spinks, and then they come back with a classic like this on free TV, man. So, man, I felt treated. I felt treated tonight, man.
Oscar De La Hoya is rolling over in his grave right now, man. He's like, I can't go.
He said in his grave. Already in the grave, huh?
yeah. He got one foot in the grave right now trying to protect Canelo. But man, you had to be there, man. It was just, you know, it got me excited to start getting on these planes, Dante, man, because I always tell you I hate flying.
Yeah.
Man, I'm jumping for joy, and it don't help. I was born and raised in New York, so I was 8.
Nice.
70% of my family's there, so it's just I got to spend time with my family, and I got what I love most, boxing. So it was just hell of a fight. Sean Porter didn't come to the press conference because he was a bit dehydrated. So, now they're being overprotective because of cologne and stuff. So he wasn't able, but at the press conference, Keith Thurman actually gave as great of comments as you could. He said he's an A-level fighter. Sean Porter's only lost to undefeated fighters, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, Sometimes when you step up to the plate, you just don't have heat. You know what I mean? There may be one or two moments in the fight that separates you, and Keith Thurman had it tonight, and Sean Porter didn't, But Sean Porter took some hell of a shot.
Man.
Check that hook set.
Oh, man.
You saw it on TV, so you saw the replays.
Yeah.
I had to wait. To see the replays, and you just
and walk through them and came right back like they didn't even bother him. So I was impressed with his chin, man. I was impressed with his chin and durability, man. But the welterweight division is heating up, man. It's really heating up. I'm just.
The welterweight division is heating up, and so is your goddamn YouTube channel. I haven't told you the story, but my hotel was by the World Trade Center. So I went to a CVS type on it's called Dwayne Reed in New York, and so I go in on the CVS market, and I have a Team Watson shirt on, and so it's about 1:00 in the morning for real. I'm going to get some ice cream, some drumsticks, a 4-pack of drumsticks, you know what I mean? And so I walk in, this guy said, "That's a dope shirt." He said, "I'm going to the fight tomorrow." And I said, "Oh, I'm working at the fight tomorrow." And he's like, "For real?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I said, "Peace, man. I'll see you at the fight," And then so I go back and get in line, and he's right in front of me. He says, "Man, you look so familiar. I've seen you from somewhere before." He says, "Are you on TV or something?" And I'm like, "You on like YouTube?" And I'm like, he says, I know you from Dante's Boxing Nation, man." It was like yeah. So I want to say thank you. You making me favorite fighter, man. It was a fun experience. He's like, "Man, I listen to Dante's Boxing all the time. And and know what was even better about that? It was 3 white kids from Ottawa. They drove 7 hours to get to this fight, man. 7 hours, man. Yeah, it was just unbelievable. And Steve Willis, the referee tonight, he was like, "Are you Dante?" I interviewed Steve Willis, and he's like, "Are you Dante's sponsor?" I said, "No, I'm his great friend." And he was like, so, hopefully they'll. You got to use that for your intro.
Oh
you
man,
you got to use that for your intro.
That's dope. That's dope.
So Steve Willis was like, that noise in the background, guys, stuff at the airport. They at the terminals, they're yelling out the things, but it was just.
That's crazy.
Demetrius Andrade knew who you were. I said, "Yeah, I'm doing my channel with Dante's channel." They say, "What's up, Dante?"
Yeah. That's the only one I did catch. That's what's up.
It was just an awesome experience, man. And I advise everybody to go watch the interviews I did. But just getting back to the fight, man.
Hey, yeah. Like once again, this was the first fight on CBS, in about 38 years. So it was really, really nice. And yeah, man, hey, you putting in some serious work, dog. You out there getting some real good interviews. I believe with you interviewing Steve Willis, you like the first person to interview Steve Willis, the referee.
I am. Everybody only knows him from memes and stuff. And I told him at the interview, I said, "People don't know who you are now. You're like a celebrity now. Like in boxing, you're like a celebrity, like for real." And he said, "I don't want people watching me. Watch the fight."
Watch the fight, huh? So you talk to him about those.
Eyes like that. Yeah.
You talk to him about the memes and everything, though, huh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, your people enjoy it. Man, I come from the hips, man. It's because you know why? Because I love the sport so much. I know that the people sitting on the couch drinking their Coronas, their Tecates, their Heinekens, I know what the questions that they want to ask. You know what I mean? And you do the same. So I'm just, I encourage y'all to watch that Danny Jacobs interview on Dante's channel, watch it on my channel. But I mean, I just ask the questions that people want to hear.
Real questions.
Want answers to.
Real questions. I mean? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I don't ask, how would you do against Floyd Mayweather? The guy is 195 pounds. Who the hell want that question answered?
Exactly. Default, generic default, old media questions. We on the new media. That's what that is. That's all that is.
And also, Thurman said he's going after Danny Garcia. Him and his dad called out Danny Garcia. So
man.
So they want that WBC belt. So, we'll see how that goes. I don't know how.
And hopefully he gets it because Kell Brook, he's been now calling out Sean Porter, or at least the winner of Thurman versus Porter, or he's talking about moving up. So it sounds like he already trying to avoid Errol Spence, But hopefully, he fights Errol Spence, and if he fights Errol Spence, then Danny Garcia, it would make all the logical sense for him to fight Keith Thurman next. There's rumors. You already know the rumors that Manny Pacquiao is negotiating with Adrian Broner. So
yeah, that's been going on for some time now. Since it's out now, I'll tell you guys, I've known for some time that fight was supposed to happen. But the reason that they chose Timothy Bradley was because they felt slightly disrespected that Adrian Broner wanted to take the lead in the negotiations and stuff like that. He was actually supposed to fight Adrian Broner in April, but they took Timothy Bradley instead. So I don't know if that fight will happen, but I know that's a fight that Manny Pacquiao actually really wants, to be honest with you. So we'll just have to wait and see.
That's good news. And with the little settlement that Al Heyman and Top Rank had, it seems like it's more likely that they can work together now. I mean, all of a sudden, Bob Arum, he done pulled a 180, and that's all he talking about is now working with Al Heyman after he did that interview with me where he said he would never work with Al Heyman. How quick things change, huh? So
yeah, well, when he's putting up money for fights and losing money for fights, you look at the landscape of boxing and you're like, well, there's this exceptionally intelligent black man, and I'm using the word black on purpose because that's what they saying behind closed doors.
Of course.
There's this intelligent black man over here. They're not calling him intelligent, but they're this arrogant guy who thinks he knows everything. And when it actually, he's winning right now. And it's an ebb and flow in boxing. Everyone's gonna have their turn. In reality, I'm just being honest. And right now, it's his turn.
Yeah.
And what you don't want to do is fall off like Golden Boy, who is in a pickle right now. You know.
Yeah.
Liam Smith. Who the fuck is Liam Smith?
Man?
Oh my goodness. Want to see that fight?
Oh my goodness.
That fight is not even worth the Corona. I wouldn't even. I don't drink, but I wouldn't even buy a 6-pack for that fight.
Man,
you know?
that's a. And then you think about the fact they announced it the day before the Thurman-Porter fight, the biggest fight to date. That's when they decided to announce that fight. I mean, it's a bad look. It's a bad look for Canelo. It's a bad look for Golden Boy. They don't have any fights right now for the rest of the year that can compete with Thurman versus Porter. So.
Okay, now I'm gonna like how you say the whole truth without saying. The truth of the matter is, and this is probably going to be a separate video that you have for but the truth of the matter is, Oscar De La Hoya, when he looks at Canelo Alvarez, he sees himself. Mm-hmm. Now, the fact of the matter, let's be honest, Oscar De La Hoya has never, ever defeated an elite black athlete. Just period. I don't believe, I was a sophomore in college when Oscar De La Hoya fought Pernell Whitaker. I would say Oscar De La Hoya didn't win that fight, and Pernell Whitaker didn't do enough to win that fight. But if you're looking at it with your eyes, with no ears and all eyes, Pernell Whitaker wins that fight. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
And you go down the lineage. You see Bernard Hopkins. You see Felix Trinidad. You see Floyd Mayweather. You see Touche Mosley, and you see when in actuality, Oscar De La Hoya hasn't beat these athletic, fleet-footed fighters, and I genuinely believe that he wants to protect Canelo from these type of fights, and I believe that's why they picked this fight. And I mean, they picked that weight, 155. So let's be the best dancer in boxing. You know what I mean? We're going to attempt to hand-pick our fighters until we believe that you absolutely have to. Not when you're ready, but when you absolutely have to step in the ring with some of these guys. You know, and I know a lot of your white Mexican subscribers are going to say, oh, you hate Oscar, but let's be candid. Oscar is my second favorite fighter for a long ass time. No one will replace Roy Jones Jr. in my life. But Oscar De La Hoya was my second favorite fighter because I read about him every day. He's from LA. I love his story. I was raised off food stamps. Oscar De La Hoya said, I remember for the Fernando Vargas or the Camacho fight, because I'm the real Mexican. I keep food stamps in my wallet. And that kind of resonated with me because I was raised on food stamps. You know what I mean? And I absolutely love, when I say I love Oscar De La Hoya, I could try and sneak in Olympic Auditorium to try and watch him fight. And, I couldn't afford to go, and I never was successful. These are just the true stories, And but right now, Oscar De La Hoya is stealing money from his Mexican contemporaries by using Canelo Alvarez as this golden ticket, but he's not giving us golden fights.
And what he promised us,
and what he promised, he said, "I'm giving you the best fight." Nobody knows. No one knows who the hell Liam Smith is.
Yeah, he's doing He's doing a complete opposite. And I just want to say, for the record, Larry Merchant also had Pernell Whitaker winning that fight against Oscar De La Hoya. But no, there's no doubt about it. It's one of the biggest contradictions I've ever seen anyone in boxing basically make. Because right now, Liam Smith, you have Demetrius Andrade. That belt that Liam Smith actually is holding is really Demetrius Andrade's belt. He had the WBO belt. They stripped him of the belt. When he was calling out Canelo didn't want to fight him. He didn't want the belt. Now that the weakest fighter in the division has the belt, now he's willing to fight for the belt. And that's going to put him in a catch-22 situation, though, because once he wins that belt, he's going to have to make up his mind if he's going to either vacate the belt and avoid more tough competition, or he's going to fight someone like a Julian Rock Williams or Demetrius Andrade who actually tries to put themselves in position to fight for that belt and become the mandatory. So yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad for Canelo and Golden Boy right now. I mean, hey, but the bottom line is Oscar De La Hoya, he made this strong argument that fighters should not care about losing. They shouldn't care about losing. It's okay to lose. All the greats have lost. But when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, he's completely contradicting himself. We know he don't believe that at all. We know he don't believe that. But he is protecting him, like you said. And I truly believe that he knows deep down there are a lot of flaws in Canelo Alvarez. And he knows that there are certain fighters that Canelo Alvarez will most likely be tailor-made for. Oscar knows that because he has an amateur pedigree. You know what I'm saying? And he has a lot of experience. Not just amateur, but a pro pedigree as well. But anyway. So, yeah, man. But, hey, I'm going to let you go. I see it's getting pretty hectic over there. Once again, man, I want to say congratulations, man, on doing such a great job covering this event from the beginning to the end, man. Get back safe. And once again, man, check out my man Fred Barbershop Conversations. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He's one of the rare dudes speaking the truth and doing commentary, as well. So go ahead and, man, and give your last thoughts, man.
Oh, man, I just want to say thanks, Dante, and everyone go to Barbershop Conversations, hit the subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not saying PBC is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but when you can get two A-level fighters in the ring at one time and they deliver, I mean, you gotta set your head about, and it's time for these racist boxing fans or these boxing fans with elite perspective to say, you know what, he's giving it to me. And I know we have our organic lineages and who we support. I always say President Obama had to lose my vote, so I understand where you can be a nationalist and support who you want to support. But at the end of the day, we gotta respect the truth. You know what I mean? And boxing has come a long way. We're not paying for it now, these big fights, and I think that we should be thankful that Al Heyman has given us this and just hold truth and just be a boxing fan. Learn just to be a boxing fan. You know what I mean? Root for who you want to root for, but in addition to that, be a boxing fan.
Be a boxing fan. And be a boxing fan first instead of having it about emotion and all of that.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And like you always say, like all these races that Doc says, like I want to use your analogy, like you on a treadmill, like boxing treadmill. You ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
That's how you said it.
Running real fast and ain't going nowhere.
But ain't going nowhere. It ain't like even when J. Cole said, all my hip hop heads out there, the good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's dope.
So, Barbershop Conversation, hit the subscribe button. It was 12,000 screaming fans tonight, and it was electric in there. Let's just give respect is due. Two Apex fighters delivered tonight. Point blank, period. And let's keep the momentum. I had breakfast at 7 o'clock yesterday morning, and at 6:28, I'm on 43 hours and 28 minutes straight right now. Because I came straight from the Barclays, picked up my bags, went straight to the airport for my 7 o'clock flight. But just know we working.
Grinding.
I mean, you up at 3:30 because you're on the left coast. But yeah, just so these people know what the hell we doing.
Okay.
We giving it to them. Yeah.
Yep. Just for the fans. Just for the fans. That's what that new media is all about. So, all right, man. Well, I'll let you go, man, and I'll catch up with you later, Fred.
All right,
man. Later, man.